Welcome back to the shop. Probably wondering why isn't that hooked to anything at the moment. That's a great question. We just got that pillar drill, and yeah, it should be in the field with it. We have some issues. It's not pillar drill related. It's issues we've been dealing with for a while now, and we've got a solution, but it just means we're gonna have to take a couple days before we get the other drill in the field with this tractor. So let's go over what's going on here. It's hydraulics. Who would have guessed? Basically, to roll back, way back when, we have a good friend who runs Big Buds, and he had a valve body like this one that he had bought, and it worked great for him. And he had individual joysticks that ran it that were all built-in controllers. When we got this, we bought it from off the internet from India. First mistake. And when it came, it didn't work with a binary system with rocker switches and whatnot, okay? We needed a controller to be able to regulate the voltage from, I think these are 12 volts now, that's another story. So when you want the valve to open, let's just say it goes up to 14, 15 volts, or no, sorry, it starts at 6 volts, it goes up to like 8, 9, 10, 11 volts to open the valve, and if you want to close the valve, it drops it from below 6 volts down to like 4 or 3 or 2, however it may be. That's how they control the position of the valves, is there's a coil in the back, and depending on the voltage that goes to it, opens and closes. Okay, so we got that all figured out by our good friend Tom at SunSource. Those guys and John, they've just been amazing. Without them, this tractor would not be pulling an air drill this spring, I don't think. So it's been weeks of this. You guys haven't seen a lot of the footage, but we've been fighting this for a while. They've been really trying to help us out. What is going on? So, long story short, we found out the coils we had were bad on this. That came with this thing when it came from India. Yes, it came from India. And we had to get new coils. They're not cheap, close to $1,000 a pop. So we got those installed. We had to change the cores out of these from gear pumps to cylinder pumps and what's that? Spools. The spools. Correct me, the spools. So there's 3 large PVC 120s, and then this one on the end here is a smaller one. We had to change the spool on that one to get the gallons we needed because it was a little short. Basically, the controller's in, the software's in, everything's good, but these 3 valves work great. They open and close like they should. Everything functions. The problem is this one now, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, and we cannot figure it out. We've tried everything. Taken it apart, changed a whole bunch of parts, but it will not tell the main pump to ramp up with a load sensing line. Will not do it. Those 3 will, that one won't. That one runs our fan. We need 4 remotes to run that pillar drill. We need 2 for downforce, and then also for leveling, and then 2 for the 2 fans. So we're dead in the water right now because we've only got 3 working remotes.
Tom had an idea, and he ran it by me this morning. What if...
He didn't run it by me.
So what?
He didn't run it by me.
Well, you were busy cleaning the shop, so he didn't have the opportunity to talk to you.
It is really clean. See how nice the floors look right now.
It looks really nice, actually. Really good job, Nick.
Thanks.
So he had an idea, and I agree with him. Instead of tampering with this and doing anything else to it, let's get another small valve body with 2 valves on it, and we'll put it off to the side.
Over here somewhere.
For the time being, we'll tee off of our pressure, we'll tee off of our return to feed that, and then we'll tee off of the load sense line from that to here. So when those are running the fan, it'll tell the pump to ramp up to whatever pressure to run the fan. When you move a spool to lift up your toolbar or your pressure, whatever, that'll also tell the pump to increase the pressure. Right now, that's our only option to get this going. Now, will we keep it like that? Or will we go somewhere else in the next direction? I don't know for sure, but at least it'll get us going. We do have other options to pick from in the future, but
yeah, for now, this is probably the best. So he's going to work on cleaning up an oil leak that you can see is there, and then I'm going to start doing the process of let's get this other drill going. Wow, today is a nice day. Warm and no wind. This is a change, real treat. Toolbar sitting there, I know. But we got Dick back from Pillar. He's here finishing, setting up a couple things. The valve body will be here for that bud, hopefully tomorrow morning. So we should have that fully plumbed in and running, fingers crossed, by noon, hopefully, and get hooked up to the drill. And then we probably can get some product in there and start getting that thing figured out. But for the time being, because it's nice now finally, we're gonna switch to that one. But before we get that going, we gotta get some seed treated. We've got some new variety of seed in the green Ford, over there. But we need to run it through Dad's treat auger so we can get it all treated and ready to put it in the hollow, in the repeat. So I'm gonna start the repeat up. We're gonna run it over, get it in place, and I'll get the Ford, get fired up, put it in place, and then we'll get the treater lined up, and we'll see if we can get this treat flowing properly into the hollow. And then from there, it's game on. Get that started, get it calibrated. The ground is ready. It's dry, but you know what? You gotta do it at some point. Just gotta pull the trigger and go, so that's what we're gonna do. If you guys weren't following last season, this is a new addition to the farm. This is the second season we're gonna use it. It's called the Side Draw from Hall. It's the SD Side Draw, SD, 1580. That's 1,580 cubic feet, I believe, of space, which equates to about 1,270, 80 bushels, somewhere in that area. So that baby can easily fill one almost bolt. Well, let's see, 500 and 800. Actually, it's pretty close. It can almost fill that whole drill and the pillar drill in one sitting. It'd be really close. But they do make a bigger version of this, which is crazy. I think it's up to like 1,500 bushel. But this one is perfect for our needs. It's been a great, great, great trailer. So far, we just loved it. It's gonna be fun to run this season. That eliminated the 2 tandems, and it made getting product to your drills smoother, faster, safer, and way more fun. This looks good. Looks like I need to do a little more trimming. The airbags aren't aired up yet. When the air's up, the cab bags, I mean, when the air's up, that stops rattling, but I can see here, I need to trim a little bit more. All right, we'll get to that. That thing just looked beautiful. I love it. I can't wait. Soon. All right, so we're gonna grab the BCX3, the 1594 or 1549 backhoe. I'm gonna pull it forward, run it up close to that hull, put it on the top, and then we'll swing Dad's awesome creation, his seat treater, out in front too, and then we'll back the tandem up right here somewhere, and then that way we'll get the treat going and get it flowing into that. This will be the only time we do this. Once we're out of that tandem, then all the new seed will be coming out of this bin right here, which is our clean seed, just not treated yet. Then I'll get a little bit of fertilizer in. We're getting that much closer. All right. Oh, just about. Ford. Old tried and trusty. Where's the squeaky door? There it is. Missed that door. Where's my air seat? Oh, there we go. Much better. All right, we're on a roll here. We got a lot of air pressure. Huh. 140, that's more than I usually see. All right, whatever, let's go. Now it's settling back down. Who knows? You can thank the fuzzy ones for that. Mice. Can't stop them. They just find a way. All right, we're ready to fire up Dad's treater here. Had to do a little bit of messing. Ended up having a new plug. Brand new. This is not it. This is a different one. Didn't show it earlier, but brand new one of these. Just completely junk. Both sides. So we Let's just splice in another one. But we got power now to the pump. So Dad's mixing up some solution here. Seed treats for wireworm. It's for different diseases that could happen to the wheat seed. Just kind of gives a better chance of surviving and getting out of the ground. So he's filling her up, and I'll get the Ford fired up, lift the bed up, and we'll start turning everything on. That motor is powered by that cable that runs over to that box, which they ripped underground, that goes over to that box, which is behind the peat, which runs the fans in all those bins. And that runs underground all the way to the power pole over there. So we're making a spider network of cables here, but it's sure gonna be nice having power in the area. This is something we've never really done in this yard, and now we are, so that's pretty cool. Get the backhoe fired up here. Okay, conveyor's running. Not bad. It's not, I don't have it on yet. You want me to turn it on? All right, switch is on. Got pressure. Need a little more. Well, actually, yeah, a little more treat. Definitely gonna have to get some kind of cover around that. That's future safety. We need more. We must have turned it off. Oh, there it goes. Hang on. There it goes. It's getting better, Dad. Is that open all the way?
No. Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
This one is screaming right here.
Okay. Yeah. That's better. Actually, yeah, that's pretty raw. Just out of curiosity, we moved from his pour he had here over to there, and it is doing a little better job treating just that little distance. So we might just keep it, rework this so it's hanging over here, spraying in the end here, which makes sense. That's an extra foot, but you wouldn't think it'd make that big of a difference, but it does. It comes out a little more even over here. So trial and error. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Gotta get the truck started in case we need air. Drive this thing forward. Nice and red. We could probably go a little lighter than that. I just have the backhoe idling right now. It's got plenty of capacity at the rate we're filling it. Oh, this trailer's nice. This backhoe's nice. And Dad's seed treater's pretty nice. See? It's nice to have nice. Thankful for it all. Oh, that's pretty cool. Job well done. Dad killed it. Look at that. Yeah, I know. It's about impossible to keep this stuff off your hands. I could have worn gloves. I'd have remembered them, but wash them off when I get home. So far, so good. All right. Time for the gold. We'll see if everything works great. Did a couple updates to this auger. Dad built a nice hopper out of an old air compressor. That way we won't have a giant amount of fertilizer here and a big hopper tray to clean up when it rains and we gotta get this all out of here. So hopefully that's nice. So we're gonna try it out here. Changed the oil on that. As you can see, it's an oily mess. It's got to change it. And I think that seal's bad, so it leaks out whatever level that is, but it's been running. Let that warm up a little bit and I'll crank her open. A little stiff. There we go. Very good news. We're 99.9% sure the hydraulic issue is fixed. The very bad news, it was not what we thought it was. And all the work that's been going on up here by this guy.
My fault.
It was actually kind of his fault. Sort of, but I put the order in for the part. This unit right here, we bought these Because we thought they'd be the cat's meow for hooking air drills up. Nice flat face, got your case drain right there, real solid, bolted up. It turns out we had no idea. These are off a lot of skid steers, different construction equipment. There's a bypass between the two lines, so fluid just goes in a circle. And the whole time, that's what's been going on, and that's why we couldn't get the pump to ramp up, because it didn't need pressure, because they're just flowing in a circle. And so that valve there has been totally fine that we've taken apart how many times and replaced how many parts on it. I should say he.
I'm gonna cry.
And he got a whole new, sent to us by Tom. Thank you, Tom, from SunSource. Thank you for your patience. That was supposed to eliminate that one because we thought for sure that one was a problem. And then that one didn't work. We hooked it up, which made sense that it can't be anything with this.
Hey, Nick. I don't think Tom's ever going to want to talk to us again or play with us again. Sorry, Tom.
I don't know. This is quite the deal. So it turns out it wasn't the curry. It's
well, we don't know yet.
Well, we don't know yet. I guess we'll have to still test. But we got basically when we got rid of that deal and we hooked the hoses up directly, the fan spooled. Jody agrees too. That's the first time I got that fan to work. So yeah, that's awesome. It's just literally, I mean, this has been like 2 weeks of diagnosing this. Oh, I feel bad for my brother. He was getting pretty stressed. All right, we're in business. That means you know what. Can get ready to go you know where and do you know what with you know who. And maybe you know this guy. We'll see. Dad's been doing some prodding and poking and blowing on this thing and running air all around. And
There's a port in there.
there's a port right there.
Yeah.
See it? That goes through.
This, I don't know. It could be the opposite. He had it like this facing the drill.
Maybe we had it the wrong way.
Maybe it's supposed to be like this. And so then it,
That's probably right. I can go look at the skid steer. Where's that thing at? Here, bring that over here, Dad. This is where we got the idea. The case steer. How's this one set up?
all right. Yeah.
So you need to flip it over to match this. Like that, yeah. That's how this is.
I'm trying to decide.
Is this the side we had those on? You didn't take these
Okay,
off,
the
right?
cartridge. No, this is the way that.
It is set up how they have it on here.
Yes.
So for whatever reason, and one of you guys out there knows exactly why, because you
It was
understand
supposed
this.
to be. That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way we hooked to the drill.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But-
unless that's a weird one, but we got the same part numbers, but there's a bypass somewhere that goes through and it loops. And yeah, that's interesting. So we're getting the conveyor operating for the first time. I just want to show you guys the command center real quick in here. So still got some adjustments to do this. That doesn't look quite how it's supposed to be, and that little warning signal is going to go away too with an update. But I've got fan 1 running at 50%, and I was going to show you, this is pretty cool. This is the Danfoss service tool +1, or +1, yeah, +1, yeah, that's it. And I can go in and I can adjust all the flow rates, the speed that valves open and close, and everything with my laptop here. So I got plugged in a USB cable, goes in the bottom of the controller. Well, I guess the controller's down there, but this box. So I've been able to fine tune, and what I figured out is 50% on the larger spools runs the fan the same speed as 80% on that smaller spool that we thought was having problems but doesn't. So now I got them both running at 3100 RPM, which it show right here. It's not because we're not running the fans. They've got it bypassed because they're doing that. Oh, there we go. Let's go take a look. That's quite a conveyor.
What's that?
So that's quite a conveyor. Look how massive that arm is to support that conveyor. A lot of iron right there. Isn't that amazing? Oh, Matt, you done good. Slave labor. Wash the thing. Wash it really good. Look at that. Shiny. Nice. So now it's time for some product, right?
Yeah,
Get calibrated, get in the field.
it's ready.
we'll start it off. All right. Well, you're taking off, so we'll take it from here.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay with it.
Call me
No,
if you need anything.
no jumps, small jumps, maybe a drag race.
Yes. Don't
Okay.
go backwards.
I hear you're not supposed to go backwards.
No.
We'll try not to go backwards. Okay. All right. We'll do. All right, Matt. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Take care. We'll see ya. All right. Update. I know you guys are all probably wondering, because you probably didn't see it, that little fast time lapse there that, I probably didn't pre-grind all my joints before I welded it. Well, you're darn right I didn't. But I didn't feel like it. You know what? It's for pigs. Enough heat, I'll punch through it. So yeah, we're welding. It's working. And I'm gonna put a piece across here, there. That's a 6-foot wall, it's a 5-foot wall. And then I'll have 2 trusses in the center, or I guess you call them joists, I don't know. So one here running across for the roof. I'll have running across the center here, as well as across the back wall there, as well as another one, a kicker for the bottom for their hooves and whatnot to not kick the siding out. I'll probably do a couple down there, or even just get some, I don't know, I might even get some 2x6 treated lumber and lay them on the face here and screw them in tight. And then you're probably wondering, how are you gonna anchor or fasten those siding to that thing? It's not gonna be easy. I can't self-tap this. This is thick iron. This oil filled pipe's awesome for that. Don't smell it, by the way. It smells like oil. But I'm gonna have to pre-drill everything. I know. I'm gonna get a couple nice drill bits. I'm gonna pre-drill everything. Pre-drill everything and then run the fasteners in and slide this baby all the way around. Probably just some galvanized, cheap, 36-inch wide siding, metal siding. And then I'm gonna make some spots here, cut 2 openings for the forks of the skid steer to go through, and they'll catch that joist that runs across here, or truss, whatever you wanna call it, probably joist. It'll run across here, so the forks go in, it'll catch that, and then you can pick this whole thing up, move it around, set it on a trailer or whatever, so when the day comes, I don't want pigs where it's at, or we wanna move it somewhere else, or whatever, we can do that. I think I'm done, for the most part. Got probably, I don't know, $800 in this in materials. Maybe not quite that much. Actually, honestly, it's probably more like 600. So put channel on the sides here, slide 2x6s in and out. That's the hoof kickers or body slammers, whatever you call it. So the hogs don't kick the siding out. And I'll be getting drill bits. And when the siding's done, they haven't finished making it yet, I'll go pick it up. And then I got to pre-drill every hole and run fasteners in. That's gonna be fun, but that's okay, because the plan is to make this thing last forever. I think it's gonna last, well, pretty long. So yeah, overall, not bad. I mean, for not grinding a single weld, they'll hold. I had to lengthen a few sections. You could see that in a couple spots like that. So maybe I'll grab a can of paint. I don't know, I might paint it black. And then that way at least it won't look all nasty, rusty. Pigs don't care too much, but I still gotta figure out, I think it's gonna be weighted well enough weight in the back here. Well, actually, that should work right. So when the forks go through and catch that one and this one to lift it up, I just wanna make sure it doesn't tilt forward like this. So I think it's gonna be okay. If it does feel like it will, I'll put a little strap here and a little strap here. So when the siding's on here, there'll be 2 little holes and the forks are through, and then if there's some strikes a tip, that strap there will catch. So that's the plan. What do you guys think? Good? Siding and roofing showed up, so let's put it on. I figured out what I'm gonna do here. Got some square tubing. Just gonna weld that right there. And one right there. And then cut the slits in the siding, and then yeah, your forks go through those holes and pick it up like we've been doing. I think it'll work really good. So let's weld those on, let's drill some holes, and put some siding on this thing. Putting the old Milwaukee M18s for their paces. I knew it was gonna be tricky to use an oil-filled pipe with soft metal or siding roofing fasteners. I got the thick ones, whatever size these are, the bigger ones and the narrower ones. Problem is I don't have enough white in that color. for the big ones, but if I'm not careful and I try to run these in there, it'll shear them right off, which I've done a couple times. But I can't find a drill bit. I know you metric guys are gonna hate this, but 5/32 is the best for this, but it is tight. 7/32, just a step bigger, it's the next size up. Well, not 7/32, it's I don't even know what it is. It's the one size up bigger than that, and this is loose and it'll strip out. So it's kind of a fine line, but what I found is if you take it and you run it a little bit and run it out, run it a little more and run it out, and just keep working it back and forth and run it all the way in, it'll cut its threads, and then it won't break off. So that's what we got to. And then I'm just kind of getting stuff figured out, a couple oopsies, like right there. Got another one right here. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm rushing. Spring seeding's almost here, and I'm trying to get this thing done. My kids are going to bed right now, and I'm at the shop trying to get this pig barn done. Pig shed. So that way I don't do it, because the piglets are going to be coming in about a week, and I'm probably going to be in full tractor mode in a week. So this is, gotta get this done while I can. Anyways, but a little trick I found, grab a magnet and slide it up and down, and then when you feel it pull really hard, you know that that's where the pipe is. Mark it and drill, instead of guessing. Or run a snap line across, but ain't nobody got time for that. All right, let's keep going. Oh, you're probably wondering what I'm doing here with this. Yeah, leg arms is like, why cut them all individually when you can just screw them in and take a Sawzall and run it across the whole thing with an angle grinder and cut it the angle off? I was like, that's a smart move, okay. Yep, leg arms for the win. We'll do his idea. Here's how we're sitting so far. So a couple tricks. Drill it, then oblong the hole, then run the screw in a little bit, pull it out, and one more, pull it out, and all the way in. And that seems to stop them from breaking. Another thing too, use a table saw to cut this stuff. Way easier. I'm not cutting the angle, that's gonna be the Sawzall. But just to cut off this back wall, because it's the same height all the way across. I should have just enough stuff to wrap it. So it'll take 3 sheets, and then I have about 1.5 feet extra on the end. So with those 2 pieces, I should be able to get enough to splice a piece in here. Wrap that side up, and then start the roof. The roof's gonna be a little more difficult because I'm gonna be climbing up there, so I'll probably have to lay some boards across and be on the boards and slowly work myself across. But then just a matter of finding wherever my, where are those things? There we go, right here, this guy. So I'll take a little angle grinder and I'll cut out the square, and that'll be nice there. But yeah, for some bacon, this is looking pretty good. It's all about the bacon. I'm calling it a night, going home. All right, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Made it that far around. All the way around. I broke the bit. This is those Milwaukee bits, and man, it was still sharp. I just broke it. He would have kept going. I'll tell you what, hands off to Milwaukee. This kit's shockwave kit, man, these things are sweet. Problem is, I don't have another 5/16 or 5/32, so I'm gonna have to go to town, see if I got one, buy a couple and finish this. Oh, okay, well, good bit. These Milwaukee bits. I went down and bought 2 more of them. I didn't need 2, I only need 1 more. They're tough as nails. I did all that with 2 of these, drilling through this pretty thick oil filled pipe. The only reason it broke is because I torqued it real tight, because I had to ream, kind of take the drill and ream the holes out so the screws that break going in. Yeah. So, anyways, the other thing too is these black screws are definitely a harder metal than those white ones. These ones don't break. The white ones did. So I didn't get a edge cap for the top here. I'll probably get it. I just, at the time, was going to go cheap and I didn't order it, but I could order one and put it on it, as well as maybe some way to face this. But to be honest, this is for pigs. So, I mean, how nice do I want to get, really? But I have a feeling, minus the background noise here, sorry about that. That when the pigs are gone, I'll probably use it for a lawnmower or something. So maybe someday I'll frame the front of this in and make a door on it or something. All right, let's get it out of here.